Let me ask you a simple question. How much information about you exists on the internet right now? Your name, your photos, your social media, your email, your location history, your workplace, your habits. Now, here's the uncomfortable part. You didn't hack anything to put it there. You didn't break into any system. You didn't leak it intentionally. You simply lived your normal digital life. And yet, all of that information is already public, searchable, and connected. This is where today's topic begins. Because before any cyber attack happens, before any data breach, before any ransomware, before any real-world cybercrime, there is information gathering. And the most powerful form of information gathering today is called OSINT, Open Source Intelligence. In this video, I'm going to take you from absolute zero to a clear, confident understanding of how information gathering works in cybersecurity. No jargon overload, no assume you already know nonsense, no illegal steps, just clarity. And by the end of this video, you will never look at the internet the same way again. Let me be very clear about one thing. OSINT is not just for hackers. That's a myth. OSINT is used by cybersecurity professionals, ethical hackers, threat intelligence teams, law enforcement, journalists, corporations, governments, even everyday people protecting their own privacy. OSINT is not about breaking into systems. It's about understanding what the world already exposes. And most people have no idea how exposed they really are. Think of cybersecurity like a battlefield. Firewalls are the walls, antivirus is the shield, encryption is the armor. But information gathering, that's the map. And anyone with the map already has an advantage. Attackers use it to find weak points. Defenders use it to find blind spots. Organizations use it to understand risk. Same tools, different intentions. Here's why this topic matters more than ever. We live in a time where every app wants permissions, every website tracks behavior, every device leaves metadata, every post creates context, every click builds a profile. You are not just using the internet, you are feeding it information. And OSINT is the process of collecting, connecting, analyzing, and understanding that information. Now let me tell you what this video is not. This is not a hacking tutorial, a tool-only walkthrough, a list of random websites, a do this, click that guide. This is a mindset shift, because once you understand information gathering, you stop seeing websites as websites, profiles as profiles, data as isolated pieces. You start seeing patterns, and cybersecurity is all about patterns. In the next few minutes, we'll build this foundation slowly. We'll start with what cybersecurity really means without buzzwords, why information gathering is always the first step, and why beginners should learn OSINT before anything else. Because if you skip this phase, everything else in cybersecurity feels confusing. Here's a powerful truth. Most cyber attacks fail or succeed before a single line of malicious code is written. They succeed or fail based on how much the attacker already knows. And that knowledge comes from public data, open platforms, misconfigurations, forgotten assets, and human behavior. All legal, all open, all underestimated. So as you watch this video, I want you to keep one idea in mind. This knowledge is a tool. A tool can build. A tool can protect. A tool can also destroy. What matters is how you use it. And throughout this video, we will stay on the ethical, defensive, educational side of OSINT. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why information gathering is the backbone of cybersecurity, what OSINT really is in simple language, how professionals think during reconnaissance, why privacy is no longer optional, and how beginners can build strong fundamentals safely. No fear, no hype, just understanding. Take a breath, because now that the stage is set, we're ready to move forward. In the next section, we're going to answer a crucial question. What is cybersecurity really protecting, and from whom? And once you understand that, information gathering will finally make sense.
Before we go deeper into OSINT, we need to clear something up, because when most beginners hear the word cybersecurity, they imagine dramatic scenes, Hackers typing fast, green text on black screens, firewalls exploding, systems getting breached in seconds. But that picture is incomplete. Cybersecurity is not about chaos. Cybersecurity is about control. Control over data, systems, identities, access, and trust. At its core, cybersecurity exists to answer one question: who should be allowed to do what and who should not? That's it. Everything else is just implementation. Now, here's where most people misunderstand the process. They think cybersecurity starts with passwords, encryption, firewalls, antivirus, but that's not where it actually starts. Cybersecurity always starts with understanding the environment, and you cannot protect what you do not understand. Let's imagine a simple scenario. You are responsible for protecting a house. Before you install locks, before you add cameras, before you build walls, what's the first thing you do? You look at the house. You ask, how many doors are there? Where are the windows? Which areas are visible from outside? Which areas are hidden? Who passes by every day? That observation phase is information gathering. Cybersecurity works the same way. Every organization, every website, every system has a digital attack surface. An attack surface is simply all the places where interaction is possible. This includes websites, APIs, email servers, cloud services, employee accounts, third-party tools. Some of these are obvious, some are forgotten, some were never meant to be public, and information gathering is how those surfaces are discovered. Here's the key idea you need to remember. No one attacks blindly. Not attackers, not defenders, not professionals. Blind attacks fail fast. Instead, the process always looks like this. First, observe, then analyze, then decide, only then act. Information gathering is the observation phase, and OSINT is the most accessible form of it. Now, let's talk about attackers for a moment, calmly, professionally. Attackers do not start by hacking, they start by learning. They learn what technologies are being used, which employees are public-facing, which software versions exist, how the organization communicates, where mistakes are likely. They collect this information quietly, slowly, patiently, and most of it comes from public sources. But here's the twist. Defenders do the exact same thing. Security teams gather information to discover exposed assets, to find misconfigurations, to identify weak points, to understand threats. Same process, different goal. This is why learning information gathering is not optional, it is foundational. Let's break cybersecurity into 3 simple phases. 1, before an attack, preparation and discovery. 2, during an attack, detection and response. 3, after an attack, recovery and learning. OSINT lives almost entirely in Phase 1, and Phase 1 decides how painful Phases 2 and 3 will be. If you don't gather information early, attacks feel sudden, breaches feel mysterious, response feels chaotic. But when information gathering is done correctly, threats are predictable, risks are visible, decisions are proactive. This is why professionals obsess over reconnaissance. Now, let's talk about beginners specifically. If you are new to cybersecurity, you might be tempted to jump straight into penetration testing, exploit development, malware analysis. But without information gathering skills, those topics feel overwhelming. OSINT teaches you how to think before you act. It trains you to ask the right questions, verify assumptions, connect small details, stay patient. These are cybersecurity muscles, and they are built early. Another important point, information gathering is not about technology alone. It's about people. Humans leave trails, usernames reused across platforms, public resumes, social media habits, shared documents, accidental disclosures. OSINT recognizes that cybersecurity is not just technical, it's human, and humans are often the weakest and most informative link. Let's pause here and reflect. Cybersecurity is not magic, it's not speed, it's not aggression, it's awareness. Awareness of what exists, what is exposed, what is connected, and what can be misused. Information gathering creates that awareness. And this brings us directly to OSINT, because OSINT is the discipline that organizes this chaos. It turns scattered public data into structured intelligence, and once intelligence exists, decisions become easier. In the next section, we're going to finally define OSINT clearly, not as a buzzword, not as a tool list, but as a process, a mindset, and a skill set that beginners can actually learn. We'll answer what OSINT really is, what it is not, why it's legal when done correctly, and why it's one of the most powerful skills in modern cybersecurity. Take a breath, because now the foundation is strong. Let's build on it. Now that we understand why information gathering matters, it's time to talk about the concept that sits at the center of everything. OSINT, Open Source Intelligence. You may have heard this term before. You may have seen it used casually online. You may even think it just means Google searching. It doesn't, so let's slow down and define it properly. OSINT stands for Open Source Intelligence. That means information that is collected from publicly available sources and then analyzed to produce meaningful insight. Notice something important. OSINT is not just about collecting data, it's about turning information into intelligence, and those are not the same thing. Information is raw. A username is information. A tweet is information. An IP address is information. A job posting is information. But intelligence is processed. Intelligence answers questions. It explains what something means, why it matters, how it connects, what risk it creates. OSINT is the discipline that makes that transformation possible. Here's another critical clarification. When we say open source, we do not mean open source software. That's a very common confusion. Open source in OSINT means publicly accessible, legally obtainable, not protected by authentication or permission. If you need to break a login, bypass a system, or exploit a vulnerability to get data, that is not OSINT. OSINT is legal by definition when practiced ethically. Let's look at examples of OSINT sources. These include search engines, public websites, social media platforms, forums and discussion boards, public documents, news articles, domain and DNS records, metadata from files, job listings, public breach disclosures. None of this data is hidden. What makes OSINT powerful is not secrecy, it's connection. Think of OSINT like a puzzle. Each piece on its own looks harmless: a LinkedIn profile, a GitHub repository, a tweet, a company blog post, a public PDF file. But when you place those pieces together, a bigger picture appears. That picture is what OSINT professionals are trained to see. Now let's address a common beginner fear. Isn't this stalking? No, OSINT is not about targeting individuals for harm. It's about understanding exposure. Ethical OSINT asks questions like, what information is unintentionally public? What patterns exist across platforms? What could an attacker learn without hacking anything? The goal is awareness, not intrusion. Here's a powerful mindset shift. OSINT does not create risk. OSINT reveals risk that already exists. If information is visible through OSINT, it was already exposed. OSINT simply removes ignorance. Let's talk about why OSINT exploded in importance. Years ago, the internet was smaller. People shared less. Platforms were limited. Digital identity was fragmented. Today, everything is connected. One username can lead to multiple platforms, shared emails, reused photos, leaked credentials, professional history. The modern internet rewards visibility. OSINT shows the cost of that visibility. This is why OSINT is now used in cybersecurity defense, threat intelligence, fraud prevention, journalism, investigations, corporate risk analysis, brand monitoring, and increasingly by everyday people protecting themselves. Let's clear another misconception. OSINT is not tools. Tools help, but OSINT is primarily about thinking. A beginner with strong reasoning will outperform someone who only knows tools, because tools collect, humans analyze. At the beginner level, OSINT teaches you how to slow down, how to verify information, how to avoid assumptions, how to notice patterns, how to ask better questions. These skills transfer everywhere in cybersecurity. Now let's define what OSINT is not. OSINT is not hacking, exploiting vulnerabilities, bypassing security, social engineering people directly, impersonation, illegal surveillance. If any of that is involved, you've crossed the line, and professionals do not cross that line. OSINT sits in a unique position. It is legal, powerful, accessible, low cost, high impact. That's why attackers use it, and that's exactly why defenders must understand it better. Let's bring this back to you as a beginner. If you learn OSINT properly, cybersecurity stops feeling mysterious. Systems start making sense. Risks become visible. Learning becomes structured. OSINT gives you context, and context is everything. Here's the most important takeaway from this section. OSINT is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing where to look, what to trust, and how to connect dots responsibly. In the next part, we're going to organize this knowledge. We'll walk through the OSINT lifecycle, the exact step-by-step process professionals follow to turn open data into intelligence. Once you understand that lifecycle, OSINT will stop feeling abstract and start feeling practical. Stay focused. This is where things really come together.
Up to this point, we've talked about why OSINT matters and what OSINT really is. Now comes the most important shift. We move from concepts to process. Because OSINT is not random searching, it is not clicking links endlessly, and it is definitely not just Googling things. Professional OSINT follows a life cycle, a repeatable method, and once you understand this life cycle, everything becomes organized. Think of the OSINT life cycle like a roadmap. Without it, you wander. With it, every step has purpose. No matter who you are, a cybersecurity analyst, a student, or a beginner, this life cycle stays the same. Only the depth changes. The OSINT life cycle has 5 main stages. We'll go through them slowly, one by one. 1. Planning and direction. 2. Collection. 3. Processing. 4. Analysis. And 5. Reporting and feedback. Each stage builds on the previous one. Skipping a stage creates mistakes. Rushing a stage creates false conclusions. Stage 1. Planning and direction. This is the most ignored stage and the most important. Planning answers a simple question. What am I trying to understand? Not what can I find, but what do I need to know? Beginners often skip this step. They jump straight into tools, and that leads to information overload, confusion, wasted time, and wrong conclusions. Planning gives OSINT focus. In cybersecurity, planning might involve questions like what assets belong to this organization, what information is publicly exposed, what risks could an attacker see first. Notice something. These are questions, not actions. OSINT always begins with curiosity, structured curiosity. Good planning also defines boundaries. It answers what sources are allowed, what level of detail is required, what is out of scope. This is how OSINT stays ethical and legal. Stage 2, collection. Now we collect data. This is where most people think OSINT starts, but remember, it only works because planning already happened. Collection means gathering information from search engines, public databases, websites, social platforms, documents, metadata, and technical records. At this stage, quantity matters more than meaning. You are collecting raw material. A key rule here is do not analyze while collecting. Beginners often mix these steps. They see one data point and immediately jump to conclusions. That's dangerous. At this stage, you observe, nothing more. Another important principle. OSINT collection is passive. You are not interacting. You are not triggering alerts. You are not changing anything. You are simply observing what already exists. Stage 3, processing. Now comes the cleanup. Processing means removing duplicates, organizing data, categorizing sources, validating credibility, and formatting information. Think of this like cleaning raw ingredients before cooking. If you skip this step, analysis becomes messy and unreliable. Processing helps you answer which data is relevant, which data is outdated, which data is trustworthy. This is where discipline matters. For beginners, this stage builds a critical habit. Do not trust everything you find. Public does not mean accurate. OSINT professionals always verify. Stage 4, analysis. This is where information becomes intelligence. Analysis asks what patterns exist, what connections appear, what stands out as unusual, what risks are implied. This is not about finding answers, it's about building understanding. Analysis requires patience, logic, skepticism, and context. This is where human thinking matters most. Tools assist here, but they do not replace reasoning. A beginner mistake at this stage is overconfidence. Seeing one connection does not mean you've found the truth. OSINT analysis is probabilistic. You assess likelihood, not certainty. Stage 5, reporting and feedback. The final stage is often overlooked. Reporting means summarizing findings clearly, explaining reasoning, stating confidence levels, and identifying limitations. Good intelligence is understandable. If your findings cannot be explained clearly, they are not useful. Feedback closes the loop. It answers were the original questions answered? What could be improved next time? What new questions emerged? This is how OSINT becomes better with experience.
Let's zoom out for a moment. This lifecycle is not just for OSINT. It mirrors scientific research, investigative journalism, intelligence analysis, and professional cybersecurity workflows. That's why OSINT builds such strong fundamentals. Here's the big takeaway. OSINT is not chaotic. It is structured curiosity, and the lifecycle is the structure. Once you internalize this process, you stop feeling lost. You always know where you are, what you're doing, and why it matters. In the next section, we're going to talk about tools, but in the right way, not a random list, not tool worship. We'll explore categories of OSINT tools, what problems they solve, and how beginners should think about using them. This is where many people get distracted. You won't, because now you have the process.
Now we arrive at the part everyone is curious about. Tools. This is usually where excitement spikes and confusion follows, because when beginners search for OSINT tools, they're hit with massive lists, flashy screenshots, top 100 tools articles, tool names with no explanation, and very quickly, they feel overwhelmed. So let's reset the approach. Here's the first truth you must accept. OSINT tools do not make you good at OSINT. Thinking does. Tools only speed up collection, organize information, visualize connections. If you rely on tools without understanding, you collect noise, not intelligence. So instead of memorizing tool names, we'll organize tools into categories, because categories teach you why a tool exists, and once you understand the why, learning any new tool becomes easy. Category 1. Search and discovery tools. These tools help answer what exists. They help you discover domains, subdomains, public assets, exposed services. At a beginner level, this category teaches awareness. You learn that organizations often expose more than they realize. The important mindset here, you are mapping visibility, not attacking anything. You are learning what is publicly visible from the outside. Category 2. Domain and infrastructure intelligence. This category focuses on how websites are connected, where systems are hosted, what technologies are used. This includes domain records, DNS information, IP address associations. For beginners, this category builds technical context. You start seeing the internet as infrastructure, not just pages. The key lesson here, every website runs on something, and those somethings leave traces. Category 3. Metadata and document analysis. This category is subtle and powerful. It focuses on information hidden inside files, documents, images, PDFs, spreadsheets. Metadata can reveal usernames, software versions, timestamps, internal paths. The beginner lesson here is simple but important. Information leaks are often accidental. OSINT doesn't exploit mistakes, it observes them. Category 4. Social media and identity intelligence. This is where OSINT becomes very human. These tools help analyze public profiles, usernames, posting patterns, and platform overlap. For beginners, this category teaches a key truth. People reuse identities, and small details repeat across platforms. This is not about spying. It's about understanding digital behavior, how humans create patterns without realizing it. Category 6. Code and development footprint intelligence. This category surprises many beginners. Public code platforms often contain configuration files, API references, comments, usernames, historical data. The lesson here is developers are human too, and humans leave traces when they build in public. Again, nothing illegal. Everything here is intentionally public. Category 7. Visualization and link analysis. This is where OSINT becomes easier to understand visually. These tools help you map relationships, see connections, identify clusters. For beginners, visualization teaches something critical. Patterns are easier to see when data is organized. Now, let's talk about the wrong way to learn OSINT tools. The wrong way is collecting tool names, bookmarking hundreds of sites, running tools without purpose, and trusting tool output blindly. This leads to confusion, not skill. The right beginner mindset is this: one question,
one category, one tool, one purpose. That's it. Instead of asking, what tools should I learn? Ask, what problem am I trying to understand? Then choose the category, then choose the tool. Here's a powerful insight. Professional OSINT analysts often use very few tools extremely well. They don't chase new tools, they master fundamentals. Another critical point, tools change, platforms evolve, websites disappear, APIs break, but OSINT thinking does not expire. That's why we focus on categories, not brand names. Let's bring this together. OSINT tools are amplifiers, not replacements. They amplify curiosity, discipline, skepticism, logic. If those qualities are missing, tools amplify mistakes instead.
At this point in the video, you understand what OSINT is, why it matters, how the lifecycle works, and how tools are categorized. Now we need to talk about something just as important as skill, responsibility. Because OSINT sits very close to a line, and professionals know exactly where that line is. Let's start with the simple truth. Just because information is public does not mean it should be misused. OSINT is powerful precisely because it is legal. The moment you cross legal or ethical boundaries, you are no longer practicing OSINT. You are creating risk for yourself. Ethics in OSINT. Ethical OSINT starts with intent. Ask yourself, why am I collecting this information? Who could be affected by my conclusions? Would I be comfortable explaining this process publicly? Ethical OSINT seeks to reduce risk, improve security, increase awareness. It does not seek to intimidate, exploit, or embarrass. Here's an important mindset. Ethical OSINT focuses on exposure, not exploitation. You identify what is visible. You do not abuse it. Professionals stop at discovery. Legal boundaries. Now, let's talk law, simply and clearly. OSINT remains legal as long as you only access publicly available information, you do not bypass authentication, you do not scrape against platform restrictions, you do not impersonate someone, you do not interact deceptively. The moment you log in without permission, force access, or trick people into revealing information, you are no longer doing OSINT. You've crossed into illegal activity. A good rule to remember, if access requires permission and you don't have it, stop. No exceptions. OPSEC, Operational Security. OPSEC is about protecting yourself while researching. This is often ignored by beginners, but it matters, because when you research openly, you also leave traces. OPSEC means being aware of what you reveal, separating personal and research identities, avoiding unnecessary exposure, and understanding platform logging. It's not paranoia, it's professionalism. You don't need advanced techniques to practice good OPSEC. You need awareness. Ask, am I revealing my identity unnecessarily? Am I mixing personal and research accounts? Am I drawing conclusions too publicly? OSINT is about observation, not attention. Real-world use cases of ethical OSINT. Now let's ground this in reality. Where is OSINT used responsibly today? Cybersecurity defense teams. Security teams use OSINT to identify exposed assets, monitor attack surfaces, detect leaked information, and understand threat actors. This helps organizations fix problems before attackers exploit them. Threat intelligence. OSINT supports monitoring emerging threats, tracking vulnerability discussions, and understanding attacker trends. This allows proactive defense. Journalism and research. Journalists use OSINT to verify claims, analyze public records, confirm timelines, and investigate responsibly. The same discipline applies. Personal privacy and awareness. Individuals use OSINT to audit their own digital footprint, understand what information is public, reduce exposure, and improve privacy habits. This is one of the most underrated uses. What OSINT should never be used for? Let's be very clear. OSINT should not be used for harassment, intimidation, doxing, or personal vendettas. Those actions harm people and destroy credibility. Professionals walk away from that behavior. Here's the defining difference. Amateurs chase curiosity without limits. Professionals apply restraint, and restraint is a skill. A final ethical checkpoint. Before any OSINT activity, ask yourself, is this information truly public? Is my intent defensive or educational? Could this cause harm if misinterpreted? Am I staying within legal boundaries? If the answer feels unclear, pause. That pause is professionalism. Now that you understand ethics, law, and OPSEC, you're ready for the final perspective. In the last part of this video, we'll look forward. We'll talk about where OSINT is heading, how AI is changing information gathering, and how you, as a beginner, can move forward confidently. This is where everything comes together.
At this point in the video, you've built something most beginners never do. You didn't rush tools, you didn't chase shortcuts, you didn't skip fundamentals. You learned how OSINT actually works. So now let's look forward, because information gathering is not slowing down, it's accelerating. The future of OSINT. The volume of public information is exploding. Every day, more platforms appear, more data is shared, more systems go online, more devices connect. And with that growth, OSINT becomes both more powerful and more necessary. One of the biggest shifts happening right now is automation. AI-assisted tools can summarize massive datasets, detect patterns faster, correlate information across platforms, reduce manual effort. But here's the important part. AI does not replace OSINT thinking. It amplifies it. Without human judgment, automation produces confident mistakes. The future OSINT professional is not someone who clicks faster or runs more tools. It's someone who can ask better questions, verify intelligently, interpret context, and understand impact. Those skills don't expire. Why OSINT skills will stay relevant. Technologies change, platforms change, tools disappear, trends shift. But one thing remains constant. Humans keep sharing information, and systems keep exposing patterns. As long as that's true, OSINT will matter. For cybersecurity specifically, OSINT is becoming a core defensive skill. Organizations no longer ask, can someone attack us? They ask, what can someone already see? And OSINT answers that question. How you move forward as a beginner. Now let's make this practical. If you're a beginner, your next step is not complexity, it's consistency. Here's a simple path forward. Practice thinking in life cycles. Focus on one OSINT category at a time. Verify everything you find. Stay ethical and legal, and reflect on mistakes. Skill grows quietly, not through hype. If you ever feel overwhelmed, remember this. OSINT is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing how to learn responsibly. A final mindset shift. Let me leave you with one powerful idea. Information gathering is not about control. It's about awareness. Awareness of what is visible, what is connected, what is assumed, and what is misunderstood. That awareness changes how you see the internet. And once that changes, you don't go back. Final takeaway. Cybersecurity doesn't begin with defense. It begins with understanding. OSINT doesn't create exposure, it reveals it. And professionals are not defined by the tools they use, but by the discipline they apply. If this video helped you understand OSINT clearly, remove fear and confusion, and build a solid foundation, then take that knowledge seriously. Use it ethically. Use it responsibly. Use it to make systems safer, not weaker. Thank you for staying through this full journey. If you want to go deeper, continue learning, slowly, deliberately. Because in cybersecurity, those who observe carefully often protect the strongest.